thing on?
Okay, bear with me on this one. Oh, fucking guy. This morning, Donald Trump posted on his Truth Social, right? Nothing uncommon. Does it all the time. One post, 7 a.m. before the U.S. markets opened, and in the time that it took you to walk from your car to your desk, $1.7 trillion moved in the stock market. Oil crashed 14%. The Dow surged 1,000 points, and all of this before the opening bell. I need to show you why that's not surprising. Because there's a pattern, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. In April 2025, Trump announces Liberation Day tariffs, sky-high duties on basically every country on earth. Markets crater. The S&P drops 12%. The Dow loses 4,600 points in days. Then Trump posts on Truth Social, quote, "This is a great time to buy. DJT." Hours later, a 90-day pause on tariffs. This is a great time to buy. Then he pauses on tariffs. Nearly $4 trillion were added back in market value within those hours. That's the pattern. A Financial Times columnist named it Taco. Trump always chickens out. The trade is simple. You buy stocks cheap after the Trump threat, which drives them lower, and then you sell it out at a profit after he backs down and the markets rebound. NBC News documented 10 separate instances of Trump threatening and then backtracking 10 times. And Citibank's trading desk literally wrote a client note saying, and I'm quoting here, "Like we learned during the tariff escalation, it is typical with Trump that he'll feed positive news prior to moments of finality," end quote. They mapped the pattern in writing before it even happened this morning. So today, we're 4 weeks into the war with Iran. The U.S. started this war on February 28th. Oil surged more than 50% since the war began. The International Energy Agency says that this is worse than the combined oil crisis of 1973 and 1979, 11 million barrels a day cut from global supply. Asian markets closed in a free fall Sunday night. South Korea down 6.5%. Japan down 3.5%. Then, 7 a.m. Eastern, Trump posts all caps on his Truth Social platform. The U.S. and Iran held, quote, "very good and productive conversations. Strikes on Iran power plants are paused for 5 days. $1.7 trillion added to stocks, oil down by 15%. And by the time you got your coffee, Iran had called him a liar, and half those gains had vanished because Iran's foreign minister said there was no dialogue. Iran's parliament speaker said no negotiations had been held. Here's the quote that should be on the front page of America. An Iranian academic closely linked to the government wrote, quote, "Every week when markets open, Trump makes these kind of statements to drive down oil prices. Even his 5-day deadline aligns with the closure of the energy markets," end quote. The 5-day pause ends Friday. Energy futures markets close on what day? Friday. Senator Chris Murphy, he said it flat out. This isn't a message to Iran. It's a panicky message to the markets. That's the pattern. Look, maybe indirect talks have been happening. Maybe intermediates passed notes during lunch. Look, I'll give them that. But here's what I won't give him: the benefit of the fucking doubt that nobody around him knew what was about to happen to markets when he hit send, because taco trade has become so reliable that investors are now betting on Trump's retreats, turning his chaos into a profit system. It has a fucking Wikipedia page. The DNC parked a taco truck outside of RNC headquarters. Wall Street runs this trade like clockwork. Tariffs, Iran, Greenland, tariffs again, every time. Threat, crash, reversal, surge. That's the pattern. And when a sitting president can move $1.7 trillion before breakfasts with an unverified post on a platform that he owns stock in, the question isn't whether or not it's happening. The question is who's cashing in on it. Wall Street literally named the trade after him. Iran is calling it manipulation. A U.S. senator is calling it manipulation. And your deadline lands the same day the energy markets close. That's not conspiracy. That's not coincidence. That's a pattern. And if you're pissed off like me, good. then share this, because the only thing that breaks a pattern is enough people seeing it and then enough people voting.